My child, come closer and listen, for I wish to speak to your heart in a way that quiets every other voice. I am drawing you into a moment of divine stillness, a sacred space where my truth can settle upon your soul like the morning dew. I am so deeply proud of you. Let that word, proud, resonate within you, not as a measure of performance, but as a reflection of my pure delight. You wonder why, and I am about to illuminate the corners of your life that you thought were cast in shadow, unseen by anyone. But I was there. I am always there. I have been the silent witness to your journey. When you were utterly alone, grappling with choices that offered no easy path, I was watching. I saw the wrestling within your spirit, the turmoil between the convenient and the righteous, between what the world would applaud and what my spirit affirmed. There were moments when no one was there to cheer you on, no audience to validate your decision, no immediate reward for your sacrifice. In those sacred, silent moments, you chose the narrow path. You chose integrity when compromise was tempting. You chose kindness when bitterness felt justified. You chose faith when doubt was screaming for attention. You may have perceived these as small, insignificant victories, but in the chronicles of heaven, they were recorded as acts of profound love and unwavering loyalty. In choosing what was right, even at a cost to your own comfort or reputation, you aligned your heartbeat with mine. You mirrored the heart of heaven. That is why my spirit rejoices over you. That is why I speak these words of affirmation over you now. I need you to understand a fundamental truth of my kingdom. Nothing done in my name is ever for nothing. No act of love, no matter how small, is ever wasted. It sends ripples through eternity. No gesture of humility, no matter how overlooked by the world, goes unnoticed by me. It is a fragrant offering that rises directly to my throne. No step of faith, no matter how faltering, is ever in vain. You sometimes fear your prayers are mere whispers lost to the wind, but I tell you, I receive them as a treasure. Each word is captured, each petition is heard, each heartfelt cry is held in my hands. You believe your tears of sorrow or frustration fall to the ground and disappear, but I collect each one as a precious gem, for they speak of a heart that is tender and alive before me. You think your daily efforts at obedience are mundane and uncelebrated, but I see them as a beautiful tapestry you are weaving, a testament to your love for me. Every choice to honor me, every sacrifice made in quiet trust, is a thread of gold in that eternal design. You are seen, my child. You are known more intimately than you know yourself. You are loved with an intensity and a constancy that your human mind can barely comprehend. I am revealing this to you now for a reason. You are standing at a significant juncture, a transition point between one season and the next. You feel it in your spirit, a sense of anticipation mixed with uncertainty. What is about to unfold in your life is not merely a consequence of your recent faithfulness, but the culmination of a lifetime of seeds you have sown. It is the harvest of prayers you prayed years ago, prayers you long thought had been forgotten. You remember those seeds of hope you planted in barren soil. You thought they had withered and died, but I was watering them in secret, tending to them when you could not see. You remember those dreams you surrendered, believing they were impossible. I have been safeguarding them, waiting for the perfect moment to breathe life into them once more. The season of fulfillment is no longer a distant promise. It is drawing near with undeniable speed. The chapter that is about to begin will bring such clarity. It will be a divine revelation, causing you to look back and see my hand in every detail of your past. You will understand that every delay was not a denial, but a period of necessary preparation. Every trial was not a punishment, but a classroom for your soul. Every season of waiting was not a time of inactivity, but a time of deep, foundational work within you. You have walked through valleys so dark you could not see your own hand in front of your face. You have battled a loneliness that felt like a physical weight upon your chest. You have held questions in your heart so heavy that they stole your sleep, questions for which the world had no answers. There were times you felt my presence as tangibly as the air you breathe, and other times you cried out, wondering if I had abandoned you. Hear my voice now, cutting through all the past confusion. I never left you, not for a fraction of a second. When you felt like you were at your breaking point, I was the gentle whisper of hope that encouraged you to take one more step. When your world was fragmenting around you, I was the unseen strength that held the core of your being together. When the floods of anxiety and despair rose, threatening to pull you under, I was the steady hand beneath you, keeping you from sinking. On the days you were so weary you could not go on, I was the one who lifted you up and carried you forward. My presence was your constant reality, even when your feelings could not perceive it. Never doubt that your journey through hardship was purposeful. I am a refiner, my child, and I place those I love into the fire. The purpose of the fire is never to destroy you, but to burn away the impurities and reveal the pure, radiant essence of who I created you to be. Gold does not fear the furnace, for it knows the heat will only prove its value and increase its shine. A diamond does not crumble under immense pressure, for it knows that pressure is what transforms it from a common stone into a vessel of brilliant light. You have been in the fire. You have withstood the pressure. But look now, what is emerging is a strength you did not know you possessed, a beauty forged in adversity, and a glory that reflects my own character. I share this with you so that you do not lose heart now, just as you are about to cross the finish line of this season. What is ahead will demand a new level of faith, but it will also deliver a measure of joy that will eclipse all your previous sorrows. The doors that I am about to swing open for you are not doors that could be forced by human effort. They have been sealed until my appointed time. The blessings that are about to be poured into your life are not blessings that could be earned by works or manufactured by cleverness. They are gifts of my grace. The opportunities that will soon present themselves are not coincidences. They are divinely orchestrated appointments I have arranged on your behalf. You will know that it is my hand at work because the scale of it will far exceed your own abilities, your own resources, and your own most ambitious plans. And in that moment of overwhelming awe, you will remember this conversation, and your heart will erupt in a symphony of gratitude. Child, it is also vital that you understand the divine economy of blessing. The reason I am pouring out my favor upon you is not solely for your comfort or enjoyment. I have created you to be a conduit, not a reservoir. I have called you to be a vessel of my presence, a light that shines in places shrouded in spiritual and emotional darkness. I have commissioned you to be an ambassador of my love in a world starving for authentic connection. You are to speak words of hope where despair has taken root, to demonstrate kindness where cruelty has hardened hearts, and to uphold truth where deception has become the norm. The blessings you are on the verge of receiving have a missional purpose. When I elevate you, it is not so you can look down on others, but so you have a broader platform from which to serve them. When I provide for you financially, it is not just to secure your own future, but to empower you to become a source of security and provision for others in need. You must remember this principle. My abundance in your life is meant to flow through your life. When the harvest comes, it is not just for your barn, it is for the feeding of the hungry. I hear the thoughts that often swirl in your mind, the persistent whispers of the enemy that seek to disqualify you. You ask, am I good enough? Am I truly capable? Am I worthy of this calling? Let me answer you with the full authority of your Creator. Your worthiness is not rooted in your performance. It is rooted in my identity. You are worthy because I, the King of all, have chosen you and called you by name. You are chosen not because you are without flaw, but because my mercy is greater than all your imperfections. You are equipped not because you possess all the necessary strength, but because my power is made perfect in your weakness. My Spirit will fill you, guide you, and empower you to do all that I ask. Stop measuring yourself by the yardstick of your past failures, your scars, or your shortcomings. Measure yourself by the immeasurable, unshakable, eternal love I have for you. My plans for your life are so much grander than the small future you have dared to imagine for yourself. You see yourself through a lens of human limitation, but I see you through the lens of divine potential, as an extraordinary instrument in my hands. You look back at your story and see a series of detours, mistakes, and wasted years. But I tell you, I am the master weaver. Every step, every event, every joy, and every sorrow has been woven into the magnificent tapestry of my sovereign design. I do not waste a single moment of your life. I do not waste your pain, I redeem it. I do not waste your waiting. I use it to cultivate patience and trust. Soon, you will see how the threads that once seemed so dark and chaotic were essential to creating a pattern of breathtaking beauty. And you will look upon it and say, "Now I understand. Now I see your faithfulness in it all." However, before you step fully into this new era, I have a crucial instruction for you. You must guard your heart with all diligence, for it is the wellspring of your life. Guard it against the encroachment of fear. When you see the magnitude of the doors I am opening, fear will try to convince you that you are an imposter, that you will fail. You must silence it with my promises. Guard your heart against the subtle poison of pride. When blessings begin to flow and people begin to notice, pride will whisper that you have earned it, that you are responsible for your own success. You must crush that thought with humility, always remembering that I am the source of every good thing. Guard your heart against discouragement. The path ahead will not be without its challenges. The enemy will not give up new territory without a fight. Do not be surprised by obstacles. See them as opportunities to depend on me more deeply. And guard your heart against the trap of comparison. I have crafted a unique and unrepeatable destiny for you. Looking at the journey of others will only distract you from the beautiful path I have laid out before you. Stay close to me, walk in step with my Spirit, and your heart will remain a fortress of peace. Listen carefully, my child. I am not just the God who points you toward a destination. I am the God who makes the journey with you. I will not push you into new territory and leave you to fend for yourself. My presence will be your vanguard. I will go before you to clear the path and prepare the way. My presence will be your companion. I will walk beside you to offer guidance and comfort. My presence will be your rear guard. I will walk behind you to protect you from the attacks that you do not see. I will surround you like a shield, and no weapon formed against you will prosper. Do not fear the unknown that lies ahead, for I am already there, waiting for you. You must also prepare for the voices of opposition. As I begin to move in your life, not everyone will celebrate. Some will project their own insecurities onto you, telling you that you are not qualified for what I am calling you to do. Some will question your motives and your worthiness. Others may be stirred by envy and resort to criticism and gossip. Do not allow their words to sway you or define you. Their opinions are fleeting and powerless. My voice is the only one that carries eternal weight. My approval is the only validation you will ever need. Keep your spiritual ears tuned to my frequency. Let my words of love and truth be the anchor that holds you steady in any storm of human opinion. And my child, I want you to know this in the deepest part of your being. I delight in you. My love for you is not contingent on your productivity. My joy is not only in what you do for me, but in who you are to me. You so often strive and work trying to please me, but my heart is already captivated by you. You feel you must constantly earn my favor, but my favor rests upon you freely and fully, simply because you are mine. You are my beloved child, and I am so well pleased with you. Let this profound truth sink into your spirit and dissolve every fear of rejection. Nothing in all creation can separate you from my love. Not your failures of yesterday, not your doubts of today, not your fears for tomorrow, not your weaknesses that you wrestle with daily. My love for you is a constant, an unchanging, eternal reality. Now listen, for I wish to broaden your understanding. What I am about to explain is a truth not just for you, but for all who would call themselves my children. I desire, above all things, that my children walk in my will. This is not because I am a tyrant seeking control, but because I am a loving father who knows that my will is the only place they can find everything their souls were created to crave. I am the one who formed humanity from the dust of the earth. I am the one who breathed the breath of life into you. I am the one who placed a longing for eternity within every human heart. I designed you with an intricate and beautiful purpose. I wrote out all of your days in my book before a single one came to be. I crafted your very soul to find its ultimate satisfaction, its deepest rest, and its truest identity only in me. Therefore, my will is not a heavy burden designed to crush your spirit. It is the pathway to authentic life. When you choose to walk in my will, you are not just following a set of rules. You are aligning yourself with the very purpose for which you exist. My will is the divine blueprint for your joy. It is the inexhaustible fountain of your peace. It is the direct route to your ultimate fulfillment. When you surrender your own plans and embrace mine, you do not lose freedom. You discover it for the first time. True freedom is not the license to do whatever your fleeting desires dictate. That is a form of slavery. True freedom is the power to live in accordance with the eternal truth I have spoken, the truth of how you were designed to function. When you yield to my will, you find a happiness that is not dependent on circumstances, because it is rooted in the unshakable reality of my presence. You discover a love that cannot be broken or betrayed, because I myself am love, and I make my home with those who walk in my ways. The reason I am so passionate about you following my will is that my perspective is eternal. I see what you cannot. I see the hidden snares laid by the enemy in the shadows of temptation. I see the subtle traps of compromise that promise ease but lead to bondage. I see the counterfeit joys that glitter and entice for a moment, but ultimately leave a desolate emptiness in their wake. I see the sophisticated lies that promise liberation, but lead only to heavier chains. My will is not meant to restrict your life. It is meant to protect it. My commands are not designed to steal your joy. They are designed to preserve it for all eternity. When I instruct you to turn away from something, it is not because I am a cosmic killjoy seeking to deny you pleasure. It is because I know that thing is poison to your soul, and I love you too much to watch you drink it. When I command you to love your neighbor as yourself, it is not an impossible and inconvenient demand. It is because I know that selfless love is the very key that unlocks the atmosphere of heaven on earth. Every instruction, every principle, every boundary I have established in my word flows directly from my heart of perfect love for you. I desire for you to experience abundant, everlasting life, not spiritual death. You must understand, my child, that there is another will at work in this world. Satan has a will, and it is the complete antithesis of mine. His will is simple and relentless: to steal, to kill, and to destroy. He does not desire your happiness, though he is a master of disguising his poisonous intentions with the veneer of pleasure. He does not desire your freedom, though he will present his chains as symbols of liberation. He does not desire your life, though he will offer his deadly temptations as sources of nourishment and excitement. Every single thing he promotes, every path he illuminates, leads to the same destination: emptiness, despair, bondage, and ultimately, eternal separation from me. That is why, when you follow his will, even if you seem to gain the world for a moment, you will forfeit your very soul. Consider his tactics. He will whisper that holding onto hatred and bitterness is a form of strength, but he knows that hatred is an acid that will corrode your own soul from the inside out, leaving you in perpetual torment. He will tell you that greed and the accumulation of wealth will make you powerful and secure, but he knows that greed will leave you spiritually bankrupt and enslaved to things you can never keep. He will promise that giving in to lust will make you feel alive and desired, but he knows that lust will drain you of your dignity, objectify others, and leave you perpetually unsatisfied. He will convince you that seeking revenge will bring you justice and peace, but he knows that revenge will chain you to the past and allow bitterness to rot your heart. Everything he offers is a cheap counterfeit of the real thing I provide. Those who follow his will ultimately achieve only what he desires for them: their own destruction, their misery, and their alienation from me, their only source of life. I speak so plainly about these things because it is critical that you understand why my will is so vital. I did not create you to be a pawn in the enemy's game of darkness. I created you to be a prince, a princess, to walk in the glorious light of my kingdom. I did not design you to be a slave to your sinful impulses. I designed you to be a son, a daughter, destined for glory. I did not shape you to live for the fleeting pleasures of this world. I shaped you to experience the eternal, ever-increasing joys of my presence. The choice could not be clearer. My will is life. Satan's will is death. There is no neutral territory. That is why I call to all my children in every generation: choose life, choose blessing, choose truth. You may look around at the world and wonder why those who do evil often seem to prosper. Do not let your heart be troubled or deceived by this. Their prosperity is a mirage. Their pleasures are fleeting. Their worldly gains are an illusion, castles built of sand. When the tide of my judgment comes in, nothing they have built will remain. Those who align themselves with the will of the enemy may seem to experience success for a season, but their legacy will vanish like smoke in the wind. But those who follow my will, even if they must endure hardship for a season, will in the end shine as brightly as the sun in my kingdom, forever and ever. Do not envy those who walk the broad path of wickedness, for their ultimate reward is emptiness. You, my child, must walk in my will, for your reward is an everlasting inheritance of joy and peace. I also want you to know that my will is not some complex hidden mystery you must struggle to uncover. I have revealed it to you plainly. Love me with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. Walk in humility. Act with justice. Show mercy and compassion. Live in truth and integrity. Resist the temptations of evil. Cling to all that is good and pure. My spirit, who lives within you, is a constant guide, a gentle whisper directing your steps. My word, the scriptures, is a lamp to your feet and a light for your path. You are not left to wander in confusion. Every single time you choose to forgive someone who has wronged you, you are doing my will. Every time you choose to show kindness to a stranger, you are doing my will. Every time you pray with a heart of faith, you are doing my will. Every time you turn your back on sin and choose righteousness, you are doing my will. Every time you lift your voice in genuine praise and worship, you are doing my will. It is in these seemingly small daily choices that a life of profound purpose is built, a life that becomes a reflection of heaven on earth. And let me speak again of joy, for my deepest desire is for your joy to be full. True, lasting joy is never found in the accumulation of possessions, the achievement of worldly success, or the applause of crowds. Those things are like salt water to a thirsty soul. They can never truly satisfy. True joy is found in one place alone: in knowing me, in walking in intimate fellowship with me, and in living in harmony with my divine purpose for your life. When you do my will, you are aligning your very being with my heart. And in that sacred alignment, you will find a peace that surpasses all human understanding, a peace that can stand firm even when the storms of life rage around you. You will find a joy that can sing even when tears are streaming down your face. You will find a hope that shines like a lighthouse even when the darkest night surrounds you. This is the supernatural life that the enemy cannot counterfeit and the world cannot provide. It is a gift that only I, your Creator and Father, can give. Remember this, child. You were created for relationship. My will is not a cold list of rules to be followed out of loveless duty. My will is the framework for our relationship. It is about drawing you ever closer to me so that you can know me more deeply. And in truly knowing me, you will finally know yourself. Outside of my will, you will always be striving to find your identity in things that shift and fade, and you will ultimately lose yourself. But inside of my will, you will discover the magnificent truth of who you were always meant to be. You were made in my image, and only when you reflect that image through a life of obedience, love, and truth will you feel truly whole. This is why those who chase every worldly desire apart from me always feel an aching emptiness in the end. They are not just running from me, they are running from their own true selves. The enemy will always try to twist my will into something that feels oppressive. He will whisper, God is holding out on you. He's keeping something good from you. He will suggest, God is making your life unnecessarily hard. He will claim, God's ways are outdated and irrelevant. But I tell you the truth, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. My ways are not outdated. They are eternal truths that never fade. My commands are not chains meant to bind you. They are keys meant to set you free. The enemy lies because that is his very nature. But I speak truth because that is who I am. When you walk in my will, you walk in truth, and it is the truth that will make you truly free. You may ask, Father, why do those who faithfully follow your will still face so many trials and hardships? And I answer you, my child, because trials in my hands are tools of refinement, not instruments of destruction. Suffering, when surrendered to me, produces endurance. Endurance develops character, and character strengthens hope. Even when you walk through the fire, I am right there with you, and I will bring you out on the other side, not smelling of smoke, but refined like pure gold. Even when you face violent storms, I am in the boat with you, and I have the power to calm the seas. Even when the world presses in on you from all sides, my spirit within you will make you more than a conqueror. Do not mistake hardship for my abandonment or the absence of my will. Sometimes, hardship is the very path of my will, because it is through that difficult terrain that I bring forth the greatest glory in you and through you. Imagine, just for a moment, a world where all my children chose to do my will perfectly. Imagine a world where selfless love replaced all hatred, where radical forgiveness healed every wound, where absolute truth destroyed every lie, where overflowing kindness ended all cruelty, where my divine peace reigned instead of a conflict and war. That is my heart's desire. That is why I ask you to do my will. It is not just for your personal joy, but for the healing of your families, your communities, and the nations. It is for the restoration of all creation. It is for the visible unveiling of my kingdom on this earth. When you choose my will, you are not just shaping your own destiny. You are releasing a piece of heaven's reality into the world around you. And when all my children do this together, you become an unstoppable testimony to my goodness and power. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine a world where everyone followed the will of Satan. That world would be a living hell, filled with unbridled greed, relentless hatred, senseless violence, constant betrayal, and suffocating despair. It would be a world devoid of love, truth, and hope. Look around you and you can already see glimpses of this reality wherever people reject my will. That is why the stakes are so high. That is why I call my children to rise up, to shine their light, to walk in my ways, to be the salt that preserves and the light that guides in a decaying and dark world. The contrast is absolute. My will brings life in all its fullness. Satan's will brings death in all its horror. And so, my child, the choice is always before you. Every day, in 1,000 small ways, you must choose. Will you walk in my will, or will you surrender to the whispers of the enemy? Will you embrace my truth, or will you believe his lies? Will you live for love, or will you give in to selfishness? Will you choose the blessing, or will you settle for the curse? I will not force you, for love can never be coerced. I call, I guide, I speak, and I lead, but you must choose to follow. And I promise you, those who choose me will never, ever regret it. For though the path is narrow, it leads to a life beyond your wildest dreams, a life that is eternal. My heart aches for those who turn away, for those who willfully reject my will. It does not ache with anger, but with sorrow. I do not desire to punish them. I grieve because I know the tragic end of the path they are choosing. They are choosing emptiness instead of fullness, ashes instead of beauty, chains instead of freedom, and death instead of life. I grieve because I love every single soul I have ever created. That is why I sent my only Son. He is the perfect embodiment of my will. He is the way, the truth, and the life. He came to open the way back to me, to demonstrate the incredible depth of my love, and to rescue all who are willing to be rescued. When you follow him, you are walking perfectly in my will. Finally, my child, remember this above all else. Doing my will is not about achieving perfection in your own strength. If it were, no one could succeed. It is about surrender. It is about trust. It is about choosing to walk hand in hand with me, knowing that I am faithful even when you falter. I know your weaknesses better than you do, but my strength finds its greatest expression in those very weaknesses. I know your flaws, but my grace is a shoreless ocean that covers them all. I know you struggle, but my spirit is within you to empower you. Do not live in fear that you will fail. Simply live close to me, and I will guide you home. So hear my heart one last time. I desire for you and all my children to do my will because it is the only path to everything you truly long for. Everything your heart desires, pesa, love, joy, purpose, security, identity, is ultimately found in me. Happiness apart from me is a fleeting illusion. Success apart from me is a hollow victory. Life apart from me is not life at all. But in me, you will find fullness of joy, riches that will never fade, and a life that is truly everlasting. This is my call to you. This is my plea to you. This is why I rejoice over you when you obey. I do this because I know what is best for you, and my will for you is always, always, and only for your good. Amen.